I don't think any team dominated more in preseason week 1 than the Bears did over the Bills, 33-6. And really that fourth quarter was a dominant display of running backs and defensive ends getting after the ball, doing their part. The halftime speech you saw on Hard Knocks, it was a lot of fun to watch the motivation there. A lot of guys having a lot to prove, a lot to fight for, going after spots. But it got you thinking, the Bears dominated the Bills, and really they dominated them this offseason with the trades that we made as well. And I know a lot of fans aren't happy that we traded for Ryan Bates, but look at it in the context of this. For 2 trades and really 1 pick at the end of the day, we got both Ryan Bates and Austin Booker. And Austin Booker absolutely dominated the Bills all game. He was my player of the game. He was in on so many different plays. In 22 pass rush snaps, he had 5 pressures. That's one over about every 4 plays. So it's just crazy the amount of success that he had on the ball. So here's what we ended up giving up for these 2 guys. Trade number 1, you can see the highlight there, happened in March. It was one of the first transactions that happened. It couldn't become official until March 13th when the new league year happened, but it was worked out beforehand. And this is from the Bears website. The Bears agreed to acquire offensive lineman Ryan Bates. And for those who don't remember, one of the first moves that Ryan Poles wanted to make was to trade for Ryan Bates. And so that's why I put on the contract the Bears structured, because he was a restricted free agent. As an undrafted free agent, teams can qualify an offer, and then the Bills had the right to match it, which is what they did. So the 4-year offer that the Bills accepted for him was what the Bears had offered and sent in. They wanted Ryan Bates. The Bills matched it. They kept Ryan Bates, and here we are. So we ended up trading a 5th rounder, which was 5/144, to be able to acquire Ryan Bates. Well, then the draft rolls around. We get through the 3rd round, and we get to the 3rd round. And this is a poll that I put up on my channel, on my community page for here. You can go back and look at it. Who would you like to pick at 75? Well, as we know, Kieran Amagachi was a much higher prospect. If you go look at the Beast article by Dane Brugler, it's the big, in fact, I'll post up here Austin Booker's write-up for it. Kieran Amagachi was predicted to go a lot higher, but he went through an injury, and so his draft stock kind of fell, and he was saying he would go right around that 75. So these are 4 prospects that I said would go right at 75. Who would Bears fans like us to pick? And then on the right is a post that I made. I was actually in Dallas. I went to the Big 12 Pro Day, and I saw Austin Booker there, and he's the only one that really stood out on this day of the Pro Day. This was all the linemen. So this is him running the 40 and him doing the 3-cone drill and doing all that stuff there. Well, we obviously picked Kieran Amagachi. We get into the 4th round. I'm thinking we're going to take a defensive end. He's still there. Let's take him. I'm getting all excited. And then we take Torrey Taylor. And I was exhausted. If you watched me live, I was beside myself. I didn't know what to do. We're taking a punter when Austin Booker was still on the board, and the beast, Dean Brugler. This is the article. You can pause it if you want to read it. This was the write-up on Austin Booker. You can see everything they had to say about him. And then at the very bottom there, they had him graded before the draft as the 9th defensive end prospect, 3rd round, 78th overall. His only knock was he's young, 21 years old. He needs some experience, but he has long limbs, rangy athlete. He's so much positive upside. Many were comparing him to Max Crosby. And then we jump back in on the right side there. The Bears make a trade with the Bills. We select Kansas, Austin Booker in the 5th round. And what we gave up was a future 4th round pick, a 2025. So next year's 4th rounder to be able to get him. I know everyone's seen this, but it's fun to look back now. So what we ended up getting was 2 years of the end of that contract we had proposed to Ryan Bates, giving us true depth at center and guard, competition to start at both those positions. All offseason, people have talked about he's going to compete to be the starting center. He's going to compete to be the starting guard. He may end up being one of those starters. He might be just a quality backup piece for both or either of those positions. And then defensive end Austin Booker, who absolutely balled out against the Bills. 24 snaps, 23.1% pass rush win rate, which is absolutely elite. 5 tackles, 2 of those tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, 5 pressures on 22 pass rush snaps. That's elite. He was selected with our pick that the Bills owned, that we traded back for, and then he went off against them. It's just fun to think about. So as much as Bears fans feel like we kind of get fleeced by the Steelers sometimes. We're on the raw end of those trades. We absolutely fleeced the Bills. We got a great quality starter caliber, but solid depth piece at center and guard for the next 2 years, plus 4 years of rookie contract on an emerging star right here before our eyes in the preseason. So I think it's awesome. All of that for one future 4th-round pick from next year. It's awesome. It was a lot of fun. Now we turn the page. We move to Cincinnati. Joint practices tomorrow with the Bengals, and then on to the game on Saturday. With that, hope you guys have a great day. Bear down and da Bears.